It's been a year since I got my Metabo, formerly Hitachi, 10-inch compound miter saw. And in this video, we're going to take another look at it.
This is the Old Guy Network.
Yep.
Welcome back to the Old Guy Network. I'm the old guy, the OG, and I'm in the shop. Well, yeah, you can see that. But this shop, I haven't been in here working in a while, and it's really dirty. So try not to look at the clutter, okay? What we're doing today is we're going to revisit my Metabo, formerly Hitachi, compound miter saw, and it's been a year. And I promised that I would go back and do a review and tell you just what I think of this. Now, at the time when I bought it, it was just under $100. Now, it did go up to like $160 at one point. I think now you can get it for around $130. Even at $130, even at $160, I got to tell you, this is one hell of a saw. I have used this to death. I mean, I've put this thing through the test again and again and again and again and again. And this is it right over here. It's filthy. Last time I was in here, I did something. I'm not sure what the heck I was using it for, but I never cleaned it off. As you can see, it's still, except for the dust on it, it still is like brand new. It works absolutely perfect. I mean, there's nothing I can really say. Now, what I thought I would do is go over some of the comments that people had about the saw in the first video, and I actually did a second video, and some of the comments on that as well. One of the things, when I first showed you the saw, I said, if you have a piece of wood that you're about to saw, and it's, let's use this as an example, and this won't go down all the way, just put another piece under there. Well, the obvious thing that people were saying was, hey, if you take this off, you can move the fence, and then you can put this all the way down. Well, I know that. And I did know that. And you can put this all the way down. It will go all the way down. However, I like to leave this up because I like the high fence. I use a lot of material that, I like to have the whole fence onto the whole thing. So, yes, you can do that. Thank you for the comments. I really appreciate it. But as far as the way the saw functions, it's wonderful. It really is. It does a good job. There, I'll get that out of the way. It does a wonderful, wonderful job. I've taken this on different job sites to a few different places, done some things outside. Most of the time, it's right here on the bench, and I don't have any complaints. There's nothing I don't like about this saw. It's fairly quiet. It's very light compared to some of the other compound miter saws I've had. The only thing I do wish that it was a sliding compound miter saw, but that's down the road. We'll get one of those later on. Maybe we'll check out some Hitachis or Metabos or whatever. But for what I paid for this saw, even if I paid $150, $160 for it, I'd still be happy with it. It does a great job. One of the other comments that I got, it wasn't in a form of a comment, it was actually one of my friends came over. He saw the saw when I first got it, and he said, yeah, it's nice. It's kind of like the saw I already own, but I have to go with a 12-inch blade, not a 10-inch. This one is a 10, of course. And I said, why? And he said he cuts 4x4s, and his 10-inch won't cut a 4x4. Well, here's a 4x4. It's pressure treated, 4x4. Let's give it a shot. This 10-inch saw will cut a 4x4. He was kind of impressed with that when I showed him this. So I don't know if he ran out and got one, but this thing is it's beautiful. It has stayed straight and true. I cut perfect 45-degree angles with it, 90s, any angle I want, 22 and a half, anything. It works really well. Now, I haven't used the compound function of it. Just to remind you, as you can see, I've never used it, so Oh, there, I'm going the wrong way. I've never used this function on it, but you would have to remove this here. And that has to come off like that. And then you can set that to whatever angle you want. And of course, there's the guide right down there. And I'm sure that would work fine because everything else works on it. So yeah, so let's. I'm gonna head back into the little studio that I have, and we'll check out some of the comments, and I'll answer some of the questions, and let you know. Yeah, I really like this. And just like that, we're back in the studio, and it's a lot warmer in here, a little bit anyway. Things are warming up here though, so it's not too bad. As you can see, I found my hat, and I just noticed that the clock up there. The second hand stopped moving. I guess the batteries are dead. So I'm gonna have to fix that too. In just a few minutes, I'll go out and I'll just get the batteries out of the smoke detector. That should work. That should be okay. But getting back to the saw and some of the comments, most of the comments that I got are just thanking me for doing the video. And believe me, it's my pleasure to do these videos. If it wasn't for you folks watching them, I wouldn't even make them. And this particular video for this saw, I think I've got 37,000 views on it, so that's a lot of views, and I appreciate each and every one of you checking it out. And if it was helpful, great. And you'll notice on a lot of these, apparently it was helpful. So that's really nice. This one is not really a question. This one is actually a comment. Let me see. I'm looking over here because I'm trying to figure out what the heck I'm doing. And let's see. David Richards, this was from 8 months ago. Thanks for the info. It made putting together my new miter saw so much easier. The saw, Metabo, same as in your clip, appears to be the first rate for the price. And as you mentioned, the instructions leave a lot to be desired. In addition, the registration card asks for personal information and is to be sent in as a postcard. Manufacturers need to employ a few English majors as well as engineers. And okay, I understand that, and I understand that you don't want to put that information on a postcard and send it in. I believe there is a web address on there too, so if you want to register your saw, which you probably should do, you can do that online as well. I'm with you, David. I wouldn't want to put any personal information on a postcard. As a matter of fact, I don't care if it's on one of those big, thick, padded mailers. They don't need my personal information. All they need to know is that I bought the saw and when I bought it and where I bought it. And that's pretty much it. So I agree with you wholeheartedly. And as I mentioned before in the video, let's look here. Thumper. For the clamp down, he says clamp down. I think it's a clamp down, but for that to work as intended, you need to fold the back plate fence extension to the left, then put in the clap down in, okay, and adjust the height need for the material you're cutting. You are absolutely 100% right, and that's exactly what I said when I was in the shop. I thought people would automatically know that, and that's, I don't know why I thought that, because sometimes when we know something, we think everybody knows it because it's a very simple thing. And I apologize. I should have said something in the video, and I didn't. But I'll try to do better on the next one. How's that? And we've got another one here from, let's see, Adfabus? I have no idea what this name is here. Adfabus. Okay. It says, thank you so much for the instructional video, as I would have never been able to figure out it otherwise. Would you recommend a specific blade for cutting corner molding to make floater frames, or will the blade that comes with it be sufficient? Thank you in advance. And the answer is, I believe the blade that comes with it will be sufficient. It's actually a pretty damn nice blade. Now, I changed the blade on mine, mostly because, well, I wanted to do a video on how to change the blade. I mean, I could have done that with the blade that was on there, but I had used that blade quite a bit, and I thought it was time for a fresh blade. I think you'll be all right. But this leads to something else that I want to remind people, and I've made videos about this before. I am not a master carpenter. I am not a professional carpenter. Not really. I mean, I have gotten paid to do certain things, but I've had some comments on here. There's more comments on here asking me specific questions how to do different things with not just the miter saw, but with other saws as well. One for crown molding. Uh, That's the one, and I've tried to find it. I can't find it. I've got so many darn comments here. One about crown molding, the guy wanted specific instructions on how to do the crown molding. I suggest you look for a video on YouTube on specifically how to cut crown molding. Because yes, I have done it before. When I owned my house about 20 years ago, I did put crown molding in a type of crown molding in my living room, and I did cut it, but I did it with a table saw. And for the life of me, I can't remember how I did it. That's just the way it is. I'm old, I forget stuff, and I've only done it once in my life, and that was before YouTube videos on how to do it. So I just had to figure it out for myself. So I can't answer your question. I can tell you how I think it's done, but no, I'm not the guy. I'm not the expert on it. I am a DIYer. I'm a do-it-yourselfer. That's it. And I know how to use some tools to certain extents, but I can't help you with that. But I'm sure there are many videos on YouTube showing you how to use a compound miter saw to properly cut crown molding. And he had specifics on there too, the dimensions of what he was trying to do. I think he was trying to go around a fireplace chimney. And I really wish that I could help you with that. I do, but I can't. If you want to know how, to take the saw out of the box and the basic setup of it and how the basic functions work, hey, I'm your guy all day long. I can do that. But no, when it comes to something specific like that, I'm not him. That's not me. And here's another one. This is this is kind of important because I did mess up part of the video. GP about 7 months ago wrote, "Wow, great video. Took a while for me to realize it was backwards. I'm a little slow. Anyways, like how you went step by step, and I'm ready to go." The whole thing wasn't backwards, just just part of it. What happens is I use my phone to do that video, and when you use the second camera, there's two cameras on the phone, one in the front, one in the back. When you use the second camera so you can see yourself while you're talking, the image is transposed. It's backwards. And I do have a program that changes that on my computer. And usually I do that. And for most of the video, I did that. One section, I didn't do it. So it looks like that fence that's on there that we've already talked about today. It looks like it's on the right side, but it's actually on the left side as you're looking at the saw. So that was a little confusing, and I apologize for that. But yeah, I did do that, but that was a year ago, and I think the videos have gotten a little bit better. And I'm just looking on here now to see what other people are saying. Most of this is just, thank you for doing the video, that it was very helpful, and that I really appreciate that. But there were some specific questions, and I guess we got to those. Yeah, and the 4x4 thing, yeah, this will cut a 4x4. Apparently there are other compound miter saws out there that are 10-inch, but the arbor is a little bit bigger, or the saw is made in such a way that it won't cut through a 4x4, which is really 3.5 by 3.5. But this one does, and I had no problem. So that's pretty much it, I guess. I really like the saw. It has lasted throughout the year, and I can't stress how much I've used this saw. I use this, except for this winter where it got too damn cold for me to go into the shed, and that's for about 2 months. So that means 10 months out of the year, I use the saw every day. I cut a lot of wood, a lot of hardwood, softwood, even some raw tree branches. I make coasters out of tree branches. Yeah, I do all kinds of stuff. And I use this saw all the time, and I really, really like it. And if something were to happen to it today, because I paid $100 for it, that's what I paid, $99.99 last year, I think at Home Depot, and for that amount of money and last a year with as much work as I've done with it, I'd be happy. But it's still running like it's brand new. Haven't had any problems. Oh, one other thing I do remember, somebody else sent me a message and said there was a great deal of sparking when he turned on the saw. He saw on the little exhaust port, you can see there's a little bit of sparking. Now, mine does have some sparking to it. Every motor does when it turns on, every electrical motor, if it has brushes, and this does. You'll see some sparks. Apparently, he had a lot of sparks. So I said, no, maybe you want to take that back and get another one. He did, and there's no problem with that one. I have no problem with mine. So check out your saw. If you bought one of these, make sure that it's not going to set itself on fire, because a little bit of spark is right. That's okay. That's normal. A lot of spark, yeah, you probably want to rethink that. You might want to call somebody and say, hey, I think I might have a problem with it. So yeah, I see some other comments on here. Some of them are in Spanish, and I'm very sorry, but I don't speak Spanish. I wish I did. There's well, I guess everybody liked the video. So that's going to do it for this review of 1 year of using my Metabo, formerly Hitachi 10-inch compound miter saw. I hope you got something out of this video as well as the other videos. And if you'd like to check out the original video that I did, boxes over here or somewhere, you just click on that and it'll take you right to that video. So until the next time, thank you so much for spending time here in the Trailer Hood. I sure do appreciate it. And for the Old Guy Network, you know me, I'm the old guy, and I'm out.